Who are the defensive juggernauts that you should be aware of this season? Well, in this episode, I'm going to be giving you my rankings of the top defenders in the Canadian Premier League in the 2019 season. Coming up. I'm Curtis and you're watching my channel, A.F.C. Curtis, your home for all things Canadian Premier League content. If you're new here, maybe consider hitting that red subscribe button. So who are the top defenders in the Canadian Premier League? Well, in this video, I'm going to be doing my top 5 defenders in the Canadian Premier League season, coming into the season. This is one of my 5 preview episodes that are going to be coming out leading up to the start of the season. I got some great feedback from my last one. It just came out a few weeks ago about the top goalkeepers in the Canadian Premier League, and I decided to whittle it down for this week's episode. It's going to now just be the top 5 defenders in the Canadian Premier League. So it's really hard to do this. It covers, top 5 defenders. By that meaning, I mean, position wise, that's fullbacks as well as center backs included in this list. So taking all these great players in the Canadian Premier League that are fullbacks, that are center backs, and whittling it down to only 5, the top 5 for this list was really hard. So if I miss anyone, please let me know in the comment section below. But here are, I did the research, I talked to scouts, talked to you guys over on social media, and here are my top 5 defenders in the Canadian Premier League. Number 5 is Forge FC defender Bertrand Owandi. Bertrand Owandi from Forge FC kicks off the countdown, coming at number 5, and this guy is one of the younger defenders on this list. He's only 25 years old, but has already played some time with the Cameroon national team. His national team, he actually just got called up in 2017 and has played 3 matches there. So he's on the brink of almost making it and being a regular on that national team as long as he gets that playing time, which unfortunately he didn't really get in 2018 when he played in Minnesota with Minnesota United in the MLS. So hopefully this move to Forge FC will help, reinvigorate his career with the Cameroon men's national team. I definitely think, though, that he can develop and mature into one of the best defenders, not only on Forge FC, but in the Canadian Premier League. And that's why he kicks off our countdown at number 5. Number 4 is Valor FC defender Martin Arena. Arena comes in at number 4 on our list and makes it in as one of the first fullbacks on my top 5 list here. And a player of his quality, he's actually really highly thought of in Rob Gale's system here, and as actually, Rob Gale loves his attacking side as well as defensive side of his quality. He's a great left back who can play left wing or left mid there, move up there and press high if he wants to. He's good on both sides of the ball, offensively, defensively, and is coming in at only late 20s, I believe 27, 28 years old this year, and has over 150 appearances for a club down in Uruguay, playing in a bunch of the top leagues in Uruguay. So he's coming in, he's already done what he's done down in Uruguay. He's coming into Canada now to looking to cement more of a legacy and stuff for himself and maybe push for a spot on Valor FC. And I think not only will he push for a spot on Valor FC, but I think he'll be one of the top fullbacks in the Canadian Premier League this season. Not only defensively, but I think offensively he can bring something that maybe a lot of fullbacks in this league right now can't bring. Number 3 on my list is York 9 FC defender Luca Gasparotto. Number 3 here is Luca on my list, and I do believe that this guy, even though he's a young defender, definitely can slot in as a 3rd best defender in the Canadian Premier League. He's one of the better center backs, I think, in the league. He's definitely super young, only in his mid-20s or getting to his mid-20s. He can also play a little bit of fullback, but I like to see him more as a center back for York 9 FC. And he's played with Canada at the U17, U20, U23, and has even got called up for the men's national team back in 2015. So he's almost there. He's almost a regular as a center back for the Canadian men's national team. I think getting those regular minutes with York 9 and developing in the Canadian Premier League, I really believe this guy has got such a huge ceiling, a huge potential for him as a professional footballer at the center back position. I really think that in the Canadian Premier League he'll be able to unlock that potential and then move on to the men's national team. He has also in the last 5 years over 100 appearances in Scotland with clubs like the Rangers, Falkirk and Greenock Morton. So this is a player that I think can develop into one of the top premier defenders in the Canadian Premier League. Number 2 on my list is FC Edmonton defender Ramon Soria. Soria comes in as number 2 on my list for Canadian Premier League defenders, and I think he could play fullback as well as also center back. I do like him better as a center back. I think the 29-year-old can bring in a lot in that position. He's got a great technical ability, great defending. He's actually a really good passer too. Jeff Pullis is really high on him, and that's why he comes in at number 2 on the list, because I think overall he's one of the better, well put together defenders. Plus, and a big thing when it comes to these rankings is the experience level, which he has a boatload of experience experience playing in Spain, up and down their soccer pyramid. He's played in the NASL with Puerto Rico FC and Ottawa Fury FC, and he's even played in Slovenia and in Norway. So I mean, he's got the experience level. He's played with Spain at the U16 and U17 level, growing up and developing. And I think in Canada and with FC Edmonton in the Canadian Premier League, you're going to see him really mature and develop, and you're going to see the best Soria in 2019, and that's why it comes in at number 2 on my list. Number 1 on my list is Cavalry FC defender Mason Trafford. Quick note about this one is a quick side note here, as Trafford originally was number 2 on my list and Marcel Dion was number 1 on my list, but then Dion had to go and injure himself, and well, let's not get started with that story. I'm sure Pacific FC fans don't want to hear about it. Unfortunately, he will be out for the season, and that's why I decided to take him off the list and put on Mason Trafford, move him up from number 2 to number 1. I think he is the best center back in the Premier League, Trafford, and now he's the best defender in 2019, since we won't see Dion probably at all this season, unfortunately. But on the side note though, Trafford is legit and could be very well, even if Marcel Dion was in the league, could make a run at the best defender in the Canadian Premier League title anyways. I mean, he's an all-round great center back, coming in with boatloads of experience, over 250 matches under his belt, playing in NASL, PDL, China, and Finland. And a quick fact about that Finland time there is he actually played every single match he was eligible to play in, which is just shows that he's incredibly durable, he can last a long season, and he'll probably play every single match for Cavalry FC. And I think, of course, an article came out over at CanPL.ca a few weeks ago saying that Tommy Wilden Jr. believes he's the best defender in the Canadian Premier League. And while I might think he might be a bit biased since it's his defender and all, but I think in this case, as of right now, he probably is right. Mason Trafford is the number 1 defender in the Canadian Premier League coming into the 2019 season. Well guys, that was my list of top 5 defenders in the Canadian Premier League for the 2019 season. Let me know if I forgot anybody, or just let me know your top 5 list down in the comment section below and we can talk down there. And if you like this video, make sure to hit that like button, and if you want to see more content just like this, maybe consider hitting that red subscribe button. And I want to say thank you to you guys out there. You guys, we've worked together here on this A.F.C. Curtis YouTube channel, and we built it up from the ground up. It's now over 500 subscribers, so let's keep the momentum going. Let's get to 600 if we can before the end of April, which is the start of the Canadian Premier League season. And also, one more last thing too, you can also watch my content over at northernstarting11.com. There's a bunch of great soccer related podcasts as well as video casts just like this over there. So you want to click that link, that it will be down in the description below. So check it out, and I'll see you next time.